Where you going, Ducky? Where you going, Ducky? This game was hype, really hype. I was expecting a boss rush, but I wasn't expecting heart, soul. Maybe I just have a thing for strong black guys and flowy hair. I get some serious Afro Samurai vibes from this, and it's because the artist who did this game also did the Afro Samurai comic books. This is how an Afro Samurai game is supposed to be, okay? Not this. FURI is a boss rush game that blends sword fighting with shoot 'em up, switching on the fly from samurai combat to twin stick shooter. And of course you have your necessities here. You got your dodge dash and your parries for that action figure smashing high. You play a mysterious stranger that recently broke out of jail, and to escape, you must defeat the jailers. Yeah, don't come here for some deep story. You won't find it here. It's one of those classic, mysterious action game stories that many games use that's just good enough. Now, with that being said, I really enjoyed this slow-paced background story that the rabbit would tell you as you walk to the next boss. From the presentation in the start menu, I was along for the ride, and the seats were mad comfy. Not every game has to have this award-winning story for me to be intrigued by it. This and the dope music sets the mood in between boss battles, and without this, the game would be missing its soul. It might come off like they're trying a little bit too hard, but I love those cinematography shots showing the world that you're ripping through. Maybe it's because it gives me so much to work with. Pro tip for these in-between sections: since the camera changes so much, it could kind of feel like you're playing Sonic 06, but all you have to do is press X and it will auto-walk Afro for you. I found this out late. Anyways, the meat of the game is the boss battles. The basic concept here is that you have to beat their health down enough for them to lose a health square. But this works both ways. Every time the boss wrecks your face, you lose one of your health squares, and the boss will restart from its particular health square, or stage. That probably makes more sense. But if you happen to defeat a boss and take one of his health squares, you gain one of your own. This can feel rewarding. It gives you hope, a second chance, especially when you're in your first run with the boss and you have no idea what to expect. I had moments where I was on my last legs because of a few stupid mistakes, but recovered because of this mechanic and ended up destroying the boss. Satisfaction gets a 10. I think this goes without saying, but if you lose all your health squares, you have to restart the whole battle again. The bosses range in skill level and different mechanics. Every time the boss loses a life square, they change their tactics and ramp up the difficulty. Now, I'm not talking about an extra bullet or an extra sword attack, but an almost complete change in rhythm. I enjoyed each boss for different reasons, a lot of them forcing you to really learn how to play the game. The first boss to meat check me was the Scale, teaching you dodge placement and how to jiggle your sticks. The Edge, he's another one of those types of bosses that make sure you're still awake, checking if you have enough brain power to parry all his slightly off time attacks. The parries were definitely my biggest hill to conquer, and this specific boss killed my dreams many times. I wouldn't say you have to memorize boss patterns, because you certainly could learn as you go and sometimes wipe the floor with them on your first try. But if you're having trouble on a certain boss and dying a lot, if you're getting better and better each time, in my opinion, that's the way it should be and is the most satisfying. As long as the game is not preventing you from succeeding, like not doing a good job showing you what you need to do. The Edge had a little taste of this, and then I found out that you can charge your sword to one-shot him, which is an amazing concept once I figured it out, because if you don't successfully parry every attack, you will get hit and lose your charge. This also happened with the burst, where it was a trial and error session for a few minutes as I tried to understand how to be able to hit her before she runs away. Personally, these are little things in a sea of beast mode. Even though after playing some of these bosses, my fingers will probably never be the same. I guess I should say this game is not easy. It's a bit dangerous. If it had a box copy, it would say flammable on the back. It gives you a pat on the shoulder for the first boss and then proceeds to Spartan kick you off a cliff. So get your try-hard sweaty pants on. Once you get used to the mechanics in the boss phases though, it becomes pretty easy. Whether it be skill level or other reasons, if you simply cannot handle the heat, turn the dial down to easy mode to enjoy the experience, but be warned, it may not be worth the purchase then. Even the game says it will be a shorter experience, and FURI is not a cheap game. I really enjoyed my 7 hours of FURI. Maybe it was because I was a big fan of Afro Samurai, or that it reminds me of running home after school to watch Dragon Ball Z. You know, when they eventually fight, you see them teleporting around beating each other up, and as a kid I see nothing like this. Jean-Claude Van Damme and Arnold Schwarzenegger had nothing on the action that I've seen in Dragon Ball Z. FURI taps into that hype with that anime impact that Platinum games give. Not Korra though. I should probably play a good Platinum game sometime soon. This is from the maker of Squids. Squids! Great simple story, great music, great animation punch to give you that sniff of satisfaction hype. But yet you can tell that it was made on a budget. You know, it doesn't have enough polish in certain areas. But it's one of those games I will remember after playing it.
Are you ready for your sponge bath?
Oh gosh.